Here we go then. Welcome back. F1 Clash 2024 season. And we're going to do something that we did last season. Now, this is going to be a guide to run through every single series. And today we start with pretty much just after the beginning. We're starting with Series 2. It only takes roughly one win to get through Series 1 if you're in a high club. So we're going to get into Series 2. So let's dive straight in there and take a look at the duels. So Series 2 then, we have tyre trials. There is 4 tracks available to go and get and go and race. And remember, there is some smaller lap counts in these races too there. So tyre trials means that there is a permanent tyre management track stat boost on this circuit if we look to apply some boosts. And you can see down below the other circuits that have the additional track stat too. So we've got tyre management, of course, and we have got speed at Abu Dhabi. We have also in here got Silverstone, which has the tyre management and power unit track stat features for it. We go to Mexico, and Mexico has got the tyre management and cornering. And then we finish off with Spain, which we saw momentarily ago, tyre management and cornering as well for them 2 tracks. So we obviously want some decent enough tyre management drivers, but as you are only in Series 2, it's going to be pretty much look as where you can get it. Now, I'm trying to use some balanced drivers the best I can. Obviously, you can see Kevin Magnussen is low on overtaking, but pretty good everywhere else. Bottas is pretty good coming through the field. His race start, though, is not as strong. So that's something that we are just looking out at. The car, though, well, of course, we're slowly trying to build up these parts. We've only got very early parts. So please do remember that if you have unlocked other parts, or if you have got coins available to upgrade, then please go and upgrade the best you can. At the moment, I've only got 22,000, so I am currently holding off. And you can see all these parts currently, Series 1, Series 2, Series 1, Series 1, Series 1, as if we eventually click into it. And then finally, we've got the Accord at Series 2. So you can see upgrades are a little bit costly, and that is why we have not upgraded some of them. But let's get into a race. First of all, we're going to run through every single track that is in Series 2. So we will start with the first and make sure we give you the best possible strategy to follow at each circuit. So welcome along to Abu Dhabi then for race number 1 of this series of how to win Series 2 and set up and strategize the very best. So let's see where we qualify early on. And we'll check the lap. So we're on the back foot, actually. Only P15 and P20. You might think, oh my God, that's bad. It might not be too bad. We have got 5 laps to come. So what I'm going to do, because we start 15th and 20th, I am going to start them on the both strategy. So what we're going to do is we're going to push Kevin Magnussen a bit more than Valtteri Bottas. So what we're going to do here is do a 3-2 strategy. We're going to come back for mediums after we've done the hards. Now, we're going to use this little trick, pit trick, because it used to work last season, and we're going to try it again here. So remember, it doesn't matter how many points you score. You've just got to beat your opponent. So it doesn't matter if you score 40, 25, 7. As long as you beat your opponent, that is going to be absolutely fine. So we've got a good gap. Bottas has had a pretty tough start, but this rival should be pitting twice early on at this circuit. So we push out. We're going to push Magnussen a bit more than Bottas, and then Bottas will come back through with that higher overtaking a bit later on the medium tyres. Obviously, the rival could do a 1-stop and go medium to hards, but that soft tyre has definitely got to do 2. That's the good thing about knowing your strategy early on. Rival is already in the pits after 1 lap, so that is why we do not pick the softs. Definitely try and minimise your pit times. So that means doing a 1-stop early on. If you have boosts, great, use them and match them with the track stats because they will help you. Make sure to use the straights to conserve your power unit as well. You can see Bottas now P19. The rivals might actually pit this lap, and I think they will. So they might do a 2-3. If they go to softs, then we know we've won. Everybody's coming in. We're going to extend out. And you can see the jump that we're now going to make as we come back for mediums. Magnussen could do the softs, but I'm going to just not risk it and go for mediums. Bottas comes through in P9. So look at that gap that we have now got over the rival. Looking very good here. So very much, you've just got to know your strategy in this first race and create a little bit of gap between the two drivers. So you could go softs by all means. I think I'm going to do it with Kevin. And I'm going to just conserve. If he runs out, then you know that not to use softs on his tyre management. He comes in though, Kevin. And here comes Valtteri Bottas in P8. He'll go for mediums. We're not going to double stack. Slow pit lane at Abu Dhabi. So we don't want more than one pit stop. There is the rival who's pushing round on the hards. We should be able to catch back up with him. Bottas now ahead of the rival. Absolutely fine. So we're all good here. We've just got a cruise to finish in our first race at Abu Dhabi. And we've got Bottas on the mediums, which means we can now push a lot more than we could before. So just got to keep at this. We'll keep conserving power unit where we can. But decent enough tyre management, remember, on these drivers. So it shouldn't be a problem. We've got Magnussen, who's just going to manage 2 laps here on the softs. We've got the rival just ahead of us. We're very tight on tyres though. And the good news is we're ahead massively against the opponent. So if you do this strategy, unless you get a real player, you should be able to walk it very easy in Series 2. You can keep pushing with your second driver, which we'll now do, and get past Stroll. Conserve down as well. Make sure you get some of that power unit back up as we come into Sargent ahead of us now. So we can keep attacking here. We have got the rival pushing, but he's about to run out of tyres and about to get overtaken. So a really good race in Abu Dhabi. Very straightforward to be able to score good points and beat your opponent. Magnussen just runs out of tyres, and that is P5 for Magnussen. It's going to be P12 for Bottas. Very, very easy start with a good strategy. One stop, saving time, and that is a perfect start. And we'll show you the rival quickly as well. So let's bring you what the rival was running. Obviously, in Series 2, you're going to be very limited by what you've got. The rival was just ahead of us on the team score. They had Bottas as well, but they also had Nico Hülkenberg. But Nico Hülkenberg's tyre management very low. That's why he's not good to use. And the car was way better, but strategy and picking the right stats means we got the win in Abu Dhabi. So our next circuit is on our way to Mexico. I've probably found this one of the toughest circuits in Series 2 so far, just because of the strategy that we want to try and follow. So let's see where we qualify. And it is P18, P19. Rival member Sargent, really bad defending. Expect to go backwards. Now we can do a free or basically I don't want to do a 2-2-2. So I want to kind of stick with a 3-3. We're going to go mediums and hards to see if it is possible. If you're going to use boost, remember, tyre management and cornering is going to be very, very powerful for you. So let's see if we've got the right strategy this time, and hopefully we have. We're going to do the little pit trick. Obviously, Bottas with a really low start on his driver stats. So we do pay a little bit of price, but he's got great attacking, great overtaking. We're ahead of the rival already, which is really good. We've managed a good start, and we're going to cut down fairly early. So now we've got this advantage off the start. We can cut down, and we can just see if we can get Kevin Magnussen, our good old, as we play it. Kevin! Yeah, that burnt your ears out, I'm sure. Rivals ahead, though. But remember, they're going to have to pit 2 stops. We are going to try and do the 1, and I think we're going to be good. But look at that for a move by Kevin Magnussen, and he is ahead. Bottas could actually nearly do 4 laps from looking at what we can see here. So he could do a 4-2, looking very easy on the hards. Magnussen, I think he's got about 17 tyre management. So as long as you don't push too hard and you've got a nice balanced car, it's going to help. Obviously, we're not using boosts. So if you're using boosts, you're going to be a lot better than I am. We're trying to do this without using anything drastic like that. And some races, you might not use power unit too much. You can see there's no point us going for the hards. We might as well stay on the faster tyre. And I'm actually going to change you here. So we've got about 15 tyre management for Bottas. And I'm going to go and use 4 laps on the hard. And we're going to come back and do 2 laps on the soft. So we don't double stack. We're going to be absolutely fine. We've got 6 laps of this track, remember. So we're going to come in with Magnussen. Look at that, up to P9, remember, as well. Really good stint. Bottas coming through the stadium section now, and he hasn't gained loads of ground, but you can see he's just bang on the 25%, and we're going to come out for softs. So we're doing a 3-3 with Kevin Magnussen on the mediums, don't need to push, and we've got Bottas, hards, going to softs, 4-2. So really good strategy again. It is a difficult track by all means, but we're going to come back for softs. We're going to have a full power unit. We're going to be pretty quick, which is what we like to see. We're going to come in and just going to run out of tyres, I think, right at the end of this stint. But it's been a great stint, and there he is, just running out, and now he'll come in. Magnussen, we're absolutely good on tyres. He is up to P12, and remember, you've just got to beat your rival here. You don't need to do anything drastic. You don't need to push for as many points as you can. As long as you beat the rival here in Series 2, you're going to get yourself a Series 2 crate of either a green, a gold, a platinum, or a legendary. Bottas, with his high overtaking stats, hopefully can start putting that to work. There he goes, through into P17. So you see in Bottas now, really playing the long game, and now with his overtaking stat, being able to come through and catch up rivals. So P17, again, we can serve down the straight, and we are well ahead of the rival again here. We can push, and we can probably push with Magnussen too. I think that's going to be fine. Obviously, we don't catch up massively down the straight, but a little bit of a dodgy line from Bottas. Maybe that's why Mercedes dropped him. But Magnussen is going to come home in a beautiful P2. Add a 1 in front of it, P12. I wish it was P2. We're going to try and get through the stadium section with Sargent's poor defending, and we are through. P14, it's P12, P14. It's another solid win here in Series 2. 24 points altogether. We'll also compare the driver for the rival and the car stats to the rival to see. So, 240 team score for the rival in that race. We had Logan Sargent, who again, very bad at defending, but he's okay at tyres. If you want to do the strategies I've just done, Kevin Magnussen, 17 tyre management, 3 medium, 3 medium. Bottas, 16 tyre management, was able to do a 4 hard, 2 soft. You can see the rivals Bottas a lot lower stats as well. And the car, well, very balanced. But again, it's all about what you can unlock and what you can upgrade at this time. Check out that pit time. Super, super slow. So on to the United Kingdom and Silverstone then for this Series 2 guide. And we've done pretty good, 2 out of 2 so far. Showed you the perfect strategies for you to follow in this Tyre Trials stat boosted series. So we're on the back foot again for this one, no surprise. Bottas 16th, Magnussen 21st. We've got 5 laps to do, and we're going to be doing this 2-stop again. What we might do, though, is go hard and hard. We might go a 2-3, actually. And we're going to go a 2-3 with Bottas, and we're going to do a 3-2 with Kevin Magnussen. So let's get some wins on the board. We'll do the little pit trick again. Make sure to always cancel it. It's not concrete evidence to say it works right now, but boy, I'm going to keep doing it because it has worked in the past. So we're going to push hard with Bottas pretty much in this opening stint because race start is usually pretty decent around this track. So we're going to keep pushing, and then we will cut down and come back again. So P11, round the inside of the Ferrari and past Hamilton, and we move ourselves to P10 and P12. All about race start. Obviously, if you're facing a bot, it doesn't boost off the start, as you have seen in this race. So that is why you get a nice little advantage. They will come back at us. You will start seeing them push a little bit shortly, probably around these corners. And then they'll push, and they will gain some, as you can see, one out the back now, pushing from the back. Sargent is there as well on the hard tyres. So Bottas will come in this lap. We're now going to use everything he's got to be able to make some more ground on the rivals ahead. So good chance of overtaking down here. Can we put it to the test? Well, no, we can't. We're stuck behind Piastri, and we can now continue on. Can we get a nice smooth overtaking somewhere? No, but we can keep good pace as Magnussen goes backwards, but he'll be faster at the end too. He can pretty much do 2 softs as well. So looking good for him. I might do the 2 softs. Probably could have done 2 softs, actually. Magnussen carries on. Rival just pushing ahead, but we're going to keep our power unit. Rival's in the pits as well, you just saw. But no need to panic early on. Look at the power unit that the Rival's got compared to what we have. And we're already ahead of the Rival coming out the pits. Past Zhou Guan Yu. We're still pushing down here. We're going to go inside line. We're going to get back ahead. Bottas on the hard tyres is going to close up nicely. And then just conserve a little bit to take some of that power unit back. So just going to sit perfect there. Now we're going to run softs. I'm going to see, we should get 2 softs nicely here. We'll push Magnussen into pit. Bottas doesn't need to pit here. So he will continue. Got pretty good tyres. And let's see, for 5.2, very slow pit stop because we've got such a low setup. But we're out and we're out comfortably. So what we'll do now is remember, you don't need as many points as you can. You just need to beat the Rival. There's no point at the moment me pushing at all here. I might as well just look after power units. And then if the Rival starts pushing and puts us under a bit of pressure, then I will. But conserve down straights because it doesn't necessarily get us anywhere. We've got 1 lap to go. Softs definitely usable here. And we've got some good power unit that we're getting. Let's get Magnussen past. Bit of team orders. Multi 1-3, 1-2. And we're up to nicely into P9 for Magnussen. Bottas, comfortable P10. Rivals back now, pitting again. So again, it's the one stop, absolute one stop needed here at all these tracks, it seems, in Series 2. And on lap 5, we're going to comfortably come home and bring this back. Lovely little racing. And remember, this is really just with any drivers, any parts that you've unlocked early on. You'll find the same results. The AI will follow the same strategies. And you will be able to find. There'll always be some that you may win and you may lose. And you may face a real player, you may not. But at the moment, that is very, very nicely done. 9th and 10th, yes, it's not P1, P2. But it's big, big result. It's a victory. All the less. And just to show you, the car that the Rival was using, obviously Sargent, really low defending, always tends to go backwards. So that is why we try and avoid Logan Sargent. They had 2-4-5 at Silverstone. And you can see, yeah, look at that. Bottas a lower level. Sargent really low defending. And the car was in our favour. So this strategy, this setup, is working very nicely. And finally, we are off to Spain to cover Series 2 Tyre Trials Barcelona. So this is a track that's changed to 9 laps in the future series. But for now, we are sticking with the lower laps in the lower series. So here we go. Decent qualifying for Valtteri Bottas. And there is Kevin Magnussen. Now, it is 6 laps around this track. So I'm going to go medium, because it's a slower pit lane here in this track. And if we can do 2 laps on the softs, we should be able to do 2 laps, or 3 laps at least, on the mediums. But it's all about getting a good start. We obviously want to win. We're not using boosts, so our race start is not important, and not very good even. But we're going to get away well. We've got to build a gap between the 2 cars, because they're on the same strategy, and they're about a 6-second pit stop. So we're going to keep pushing. And remember, you need to use around 33% a lap to be able to manage these medium tyres to do 3 laps. So let's find out if we can do it first of all. Coming round, end of sector 2. We're under pressure from Piastri, who absolutely bolsters us out of the way. And we're going to be fine, though, to do 3 laps. We're going to conserve some power unit. Now, remember, in the early series, a lot of it is on what your AI do. Now, the AI are running a 2 soft, and they will potentially go to maybe 4 hard, or at least try and stretch it to 4 hard. Now the Rival's pushing, and we're okay. So you can see Bottas with that high overtaking on the softs just coming through, but he's going to make an early stop. He might do a 2-2-2, to be fair. Now Bottas will push a little bit to try and close that gap to Lando Norris, who is currently ahead. And as we come out the final corner, we'll conserve down. And that soft tyre will pit. So up we go into the top 10. Try and keep Ocon behind, but we can't. Obviously, these are higher series cars and drivers ahead of us in the AI. Now, we are going to double stack. There is simply nothing we can really do about that, but we need to be on the fastest strategy. So, small double stack coming up, but because of the AI strategy, we are going to be absolutely fine. Now, we could split this out and do a 2-2-2, but still, I'm going to lose 5 seconds double stacking, or I'm going to lose 10 seconds in the pits. I know which one I'd rather do. So Bottas comes in, and it's only going to lose about 3 seconds here, Bottas. There you go, already out. So he'll come back out, right behind the rival on the hard tyres. Now the difference between the rival is they go past on the mediums, but they're not going to do 4 laps. So by all means, we lose 3 seconds in the pits for double stacking, but we don't lose an extra 10-12 seconds in the pits for doing another pit stop. So all we got to do now is just cruise up behind Hamilton in P14 in a lap or so's time and get the job done. Magnussen is flying along now as well. You can see the medium tyres still got a pit though. So we're all good. And this is comfortable. Told you, sometimes one-stop strategy is best. It might seem that you would have wanted to go 2-2-2, but trust me, you can see already the difference it is going to make. That P16 car for the rival has got to pit this lap. As Utmaleng, welcome as a subscriber. P13 for Bottas. P20 for Magnussen. Just trying to keep Logan Sargent behind us. We're going to just push out of this corner. We're going to push to get past Bottas. And now the rival will have to pit. So rival pits. Magnussen moves himself up. And there you go. He's only just hit the pit lane and we're already on our way. Now the rival's managing to keep ahead. We're getting overtaken because our defending stat isn't great. But we are managing to try and pull forward a little bit. We're going to get past Piastri, are we? Not quite. Rival now struggling on the hards. And we're going to get ahead into P11. You can see Magnussen flying along now into P14. And look where that two-stop rival is. All the way out the back in P22. So good little strategy there. A nice 3-3. If you can not double stack, it's even better. But take the double stack in Series 2 because it's a lot better. Look how slow. And that rival went 2 soft, 2 medium, or 2 soft pretty much. Or 1 soft. Not great. So yeah, I think it was a 2 soft, 3 medium, 1 soft the rival did. Super, super slow the 1 stop. So remember, you lose 5 and a bit seconds for a pit stop, plus your pit entry and pit exit time. That is why at the lower series, you really want to do a 1 stop strategy. And that is exactly what we did then. We forgot to have a look at it, but that is Series 2 done and dusted. I really hope that has helped you. Tyre trials, with tyre management being the key, track stat, that is boosted. So fingers crossed, you can go and smash Series 2.